Facebook Live look-in. So Erica started with us a couple of weeks ago, and she started out having arm pain and some pain going into your neck. Is that right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I actually started having arm pain, and it would stop me from doing certain things like being able to lift. That's when it got worse. And just using my hand, I'm a right-handed person, just using my hand for 10 minutes, my hand would completely fall asleep. I'd feel that fuzzy start from my elbow, then go down towards, and then the sharp needle pain. But I took some advice from my primary care, which mentioned to go and seek therapy for my arm, and I did that for 6 months. It sort of helped, but a lot of it had to do with the muscle relaxers that I was taking. Once that subsided, the pain came back, and I thought that was weird because it wouldn't go away. And then I actually had a severe muscle spasming, which I ended up in the emergency room. Once I was in the emergency room, they had to do they did an x-ray, and then that's when they noticed that my neck was actually what they called it, a cervical sprain. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that my neck was actually, or could be, causing a lot of my pain that I was enduring on my arm. And that's when I decided to seek a chiropractor. But I actually didn't know at that moment what type of chiropractor I would be seeing. And then I looked more into Dr. Pietrek, and I realized that he's actually a specialist when it comes to neck therapy. And so I thought I'll give him a try. I've been with him, I think, about a month. And just recently, 2 weeks ago, I realized that using my arm for 10 minutes, I'll still be okay. And I no longer have like that sharp pain that I would just randomly walking, I would just get it. And well, we're still working on the neck, but it's definitely something I'm not thinking about anymore like I used to. So that's been pretty good.
And you need your hands and your arms a lot as a pipetting, right?
Yeah, I do pipetting.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's demonstrate how we do a typical office visit. I'll have you straight back here on your back. Erica?
Okay.
So what I'm doing right now is just checking the leg length, not literally to see if one bone is shorter than the other, but to see how much tension there is in one side of her spine. And here we can see that her right leg is short. If we just bring the camera down over here, this leg is pulled up in that direction, and it is usually that side if there's a restriction in how high the leg comes. You can come right over here. So let's keep your legs straight. Bring your left leg up as high as you can. Okay, so right there, and we'll compare that to the other side. You see how that's restricted. So we're going to go ahead and give Erica an adjustment right now, and hopefully we get the leg to change as far as the motion goes, but definitely get the leg to come all the way down on the right side as we usually do. So go ahead and sit up here and turn and face that way. I always want to feel the suboccipital muscles, which hold the atlas, or that C1 vertebra, in place. Atlas from Greek mythology is that titan that held the world on his shoulders. So our world is our skull, our head, our brain, which is about 13 pounds, and it sits on top of a little 2-ounce atlas vertebra. So it's very important that we get that situated right down here on your side. Lift up a little bit. Down. And I adjust her based on her own individual x-ray analysis. And I'm going to measure right now for where I'm supposed to stand. Touching her with this part of my hand. We noticed that her neck is shifted out to the right side a certain amount.
Yet her atlas, the top bone in her spine, has shifted up on the left. In order to correct for this, I need to come in here very, very specifically based on the unique geometry of Erica's spine and get this to unlock. Looking at Erica from the top, this ring-shaped bone has rotated forward on the left, and that is why I'm standing in front of Erica on the left side, very specifically contacting this part of her spine in order to get this to unlock and free up the health and healing messages coming from the brain down to the rest of the body. And this is important because her spine is locked into this position. Her leg is short on the right side. She cannot lift her right leg up as well as she should be able to. Watch what happens now as I released the top of the neck, the leg comes down, and then watch very carefully what happens with her ability to raise her leg.
Let's bring your left leg up as high as you can. Good, down, and let's try that right side. Okay. Bring your left leg up as high as you can. Okay, so right there, and we'll compare that to the other side. You see how that's restricted. Excellent. Let's check and see if we got the leg come down on the right side. Do me a favor and turn your head to the left and to the right and then back here. And that looks perfect. You can see how the leg came down. Very, very good. So people ask me regularly, how does it work? And the short answer is very, very well. Let me give you a little bit more of a detailed answer. Thank you for being live with us so far. Don't forget to share this information with your friends. We're gonna pop right over here. So whether you're watching later on YouTube, make sure that you comment below in the right around the description box. Here's what we're doing. Here's what happens. The head and neck relationship goes out of balance. Since the brainstem and the cerebellum is the postural control center for the entire spinal column and the entire body, what happens is nature says, we don't like being like this. We're going to go ahead and be like this instead of being like this to offset the pressure built up here in the brainstem. So the consequence can oftentimes be widespread bruising, pain, discomfort, fatigue, difficulty sleeping, changes in mood, serotonin, melatonin, sleep-wake cycles being off, because all that stuff is regulated right here in the brainstem. All we're trying to do is flip the switch very, very, very gently. In fact, probably about this much pressure. Here's my little iPad. Probably about that much pressure to her spine, and our ultimate goal is this. Body heals itself. Nature needs no help, just no interference. Thanks for watching, and again, share this with your friends.